for joining us here in Arc Salt Lake. I'm Brian Cheney. It is Wednesday, September 18th. You may notice that I'm not alone tonight, as we are typically here to begin the program. Chief Investigative Reporter Wendy Halloran, kind enough to join me here tonight. And the reason why is we're taking a deeper dive into something that is very near and dear to you, but also stems in a way from a lot of your reporting since you've been in Salt Lake City.
It absolutely does. In the almost 4 years since I've been at KUTV2 News, I've focused a lot of my investigative reporting on Utah's Board of Pardons and Parole, the paroling system and adult probation and parole, which supervises the offenders that the Board of Pardons and Parole grants parole to. And when I first got here, there were a lot of inherent problems. A lot of offenders, dangerous, violent offenders being paroled, and murders happened, deadly consequences because of those murders. And I started digging really, really deep into the system to try to see how we could reform the system.
So before we get to our conversation we're going to have tonight, this goes back a few years, correct?
It does. It goes back to late 2021. And so I had been here I started in October 2020, but I really started the investigative reporting on the paroling system in, I would say, the beginning of 2021. And one of my sources came to me in late 2021. Now, he is a police officer, but also a victim. Now, in 2012, Zane Openshaw tried to kill him. Since then, he's been vocal about reforming the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole. Now, I want you to watch this. Here is his story from December 2021. Take a look.
His plan, as he thought it through, was to gun down the first police officer he saw.
In December 2012, Zane Openshaw aimed a gun at Sunset Police Officer Jared Jensen and repeatedly pulled the trigger.
The offender acted with purpose, and per the model penal code, demonstrated intent by showing the degree of certainty that his conduct would cause a certain result, the certain result being my death.
It haunts him.
That day changed me. From the moment I narrowly escaped those 8 bullets fired directly at me, I became a different person.
This is Jensen speaking to the parole board hearing officer 1 year ago.
I and those closest to me attribute these personal struggles I now deal with to the moment Zane Openshaw chose to try to kill me.
As Openshaw prepared to make his bid for a chance at parole.
For that one day, I was a terrorist. There's nothing I can do to change that.
I still don't know whether I survived by luck, the grace of God, or the mere fact the offender just couldn't pull it off.
To this day, Openshaw claims he was trying to die by suicide by cop.
It was my desire to get shot and killed myself. I'd already taken many pills to overdose, and that didn't work.
But previous statements he made during an interview contradict that notion, a point not lost on hearing officer Jared Chappell.
And you didn't kill somebody is just sheer luck or God's will. I mean, that was your intent that night.
Openshaw was sentenced to a term of at least 5 years up to life in prison. Given a deal, the aggravated attempted murder charge was reduced to attempted murder. He served 8 years. Jensen said it's not enough.
He is not penitent, and he has not been rehabilitated, and he is not adequately punished. I would urge the board to consider the other lives that will be in jeopardy by paroling this offender.
Openshaw still chalks it up to one bad day.
There's many bad people in the world, and I'm just one of them. For that one day, I was part of those bad people.
Will society be safe when the offender has another bad day?
Now, I continued to expose supervision failures by Utah's adult probation and parole that led to murders and showed deadly paroling decisions made by the Board of Pardons and Parole. Now, the following year, after Sergeant Jensen's story aired, lawmakers held a hearing and then ordered a legislative audit by the Legislative Auditor General. Not only did Sergeant Jensen meet with me and the auditors before they conducted the audit, he was instrumental in helping Representative Judy Weeks-Rohner with a bill that passed into law and Governor Cox signed, requiring the parole board to err on the side of public safety when making paroling decisions. Now, Sergeant Jensen is battling brain cancer, and he has the same optimistic attitude I've known him to have. Please take a listen.
The attitude I have going into this is I've cheated death before, so why not again? And I don't feel like I've done what I need to do yet. So I just can't help but think this is going to be okay. It's going to be hard. I'm sure, going to be full with days that aren't fun. But again, I can do that. I can do hard things. I can rise to the challenge and, like I said, hopefully come out on top of this. He didn't win that day. Cancer's not going to win this day. And that's all I can say about it.
It's great to be joined by Sergeant Jared Jensen and his wife Camille in studio tonight. Thank you both for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
This has been a very tough road, and it is most recent. Thank you so much for being here. It is an honor to have you both here. This started in August, last month.
Mid-July, maybe late July, with some headaches. I thought they were allergy related, but yeah, fast forward to now, here we are.
What's been your mindset since then? I mean, I just heard obviously what you shared previously. You have been able to avoid death once, obviously, by what we saw right here from a few years ago. This is just a different animal, though. This is a different type.
It is, but I'd like to think I've proven I can do hard things. And to me, right now, this is just another hard thing that's in my way to having the life I want to have. So I'm going to beat it.
And you were at the University of Utah Hospital. You had the first surgery last month, and then you had a craniotomy. Tell me about that. It was touch and go. You told Camille.
She's going to have to tell you about that.
Camille.
Yeah, so his headaches got significantly worse the day we were admitted to the hospital. It was a huge blessing. The surgeon told us that if we hadn't gone in when we did, he could have just fallen asleep that weekend. So very grateful we went in when we did. But yeah, the following Wednesday, he went in to have his left frontal lobe tumor removed. He has other tumors down his midbrain that are connected, linked at some point. So basically when they took out the big one, it angered the rest and caused a lot of swelling and on his brainstem. And so he had amazing healthcare workers that were very intuitive, and they decided the next afternoon to do a craniotomy. And again, a blessing. The surgeon came in when he did, because he was like, my team's here and we're all set up. I don't have a surgery again for like an hour and a half, so they took him. So after they did that, he had a midline shift that went to 10 millimeters. And it seemed like after the craniotomy, everything just shifted back into place. It took him about a week to wake up. He wasn't sedated, he just was not waking up. And that was terrifying. But after a few days, his lungs started challenging the vent, and he was proving that he wanted to wake up and get going. So we're very grateful.
And a couple of weeks ago, you're a member of the violent fugitive apprehension strike force team with the U.S. Marshals.
I am.
A dedicated member, a beloved member of that unit that tracks the best of fugitive hunters. You've done that since 2016, and you became part of that because of what Zane Openshaw did to you, because you were in a police uniform. He attempted to kill you. So that was the precipitous for that as well. And so the day before you were released from rehab, you got a huge visit, and we have pictures we're showing right now. Here's the pictures of the members of VFAST and members of the Kaysville Police Department there to show you their love and support. What did that mean to you?
It was a humbling experience, a great experience. Those are guys that I count on. I like to think they look at me as someone they can count on. It just meant the world to me that they would come down and support me in this moment that I need support. It was just a tremendous experience, very touching.
How do you approach each day now with so much going on? Obviously, health is of utmost concern for you.
Sure. I mean, my days are pretty packed with appointments, doctor's appointments, therapies, whatever. I don't feel like I have time right now to think about day-to-day life, but I just try to approach each day like it's a new day and step forward with my best attitude and just try to conquer the tasks of that day and not look too far into the future.
We were fortunate to see, obviously, those photos, members of EFAST and your colleagues at Kaysville Police. But how about your community? How are they supporting you and your family through all of this?
I have a great support structure of family and friends that have all stepped up to help me, whether asked or not asked. I couldn't be here without them. I mean, from my in-laws taking care of my kids to my best friend helping me with yard work and taking on the big tasks. I mean, just a tremendous outpouring of support, and people I don't know giving me monetary donations. I mean, it's been incredible.
It's a tightly knit community, so I imagine once one member of the department probably knows, and then it trickles out, and then before you know it, the phone's probably ringing off the hook, or you're getting stuff on your desk, or however that is. I mean, it's to be said about everyone that works in law enforcement.
Yep.
And Camille, what can the community do to help? You're going to have chemo and radiation.
Yes.
For about 6 weeks, was that correct?
Yeah.
To start. Yep.
Okay. What can people do?
Honestly, I feel like we have been so blessed with so many people taking care of us. It was hard for me to see people at the hospital that didn't have that. So I guess, honestly, what I would say is if I learned anything from this, it's to try not to live your life on autopilot. I think, sorry, it's like been hard, but I think if I've learned anything, it's just don't take those small moments for granted. I think there's probably a lot of us that are guilty of, like I said, living life on autopilot. And I think we do ourselves a disfavor by doing that, because nobody knows what tomorrow looks like. We didn't know that headaches were going to bring us here. And so I honestly would just ask people to just take each day and just live it the best you can, because you just don't know what tomorrow will hold.
Well, obviously emotional having you both here. Thank you for doing it first and foremost. I know this is never that easy to spill it out there and have it all on the line, but obviously wishing you the best in your recovery and the both of you,
Thank you.
getting through this together.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here tonight.
Yes, thank you for your service, and thank you for your candor, because I know that through your story, you're helping a lot of people.
I appreciate you doing this, because I think he's pretty amazing, and he's more than cancer, so it's nice to know that people care and appreciate him, so thank you.
All right, still ahead here on the show tonight. If you missed any of that conversation, you can catch it coming back on our YouTube platforms, also on our website. We're talking about the Utah Hockey Club. It was the first day of the training camp for the team, Utah's NHL team. We're hearing from players as they prepare for their inaugural season. It is next. Media day for the Utah Hockey Club, where they rolled out a lot of people from the organization to speak with us. Players, coach, GM, also the president of the club. Here's Chris Armstrong when asked about the team name. You want to know what they're going to be beyond the Utah Hockey Club, right? How's that going?
From day one, Ryan has stated we really want the fan base and the community to be part of building the identity of this team. So through the input of our fans, using the surveys that we've conducted, we certainly have been able to take a firm understanding of the sentiment and what our fan base would like us to be called. You can imagine it's a complicated process from a legal and trademarking and intellectual property perspective, and so we're in that process now of determining what is achievable in that realm. It's been very clear to us what our fans would like us to be called, and so now it's a matter of trying to explore exhaustively all avenues to try to deliver that to our fans. I'm not in a position or prepared to tell you what that is today, but as we go through that process, we'll have more to say about it for sure. Cool. But the focus right now is really on the ice for the next few weeks. It's making sure we're ready, we're healthy, and we're ready to go as a team to start off on the right foot on October the 8th against Chicago. That we set the tone right from the jump this season to show our fans the type of team that we're going to be. We're going to be fast, talented, competitive, resilient group that wants to proudly wear Utah on its chest and show the fans and the community here what they should be excited about.
We spoke with General Manager Bill Armstrong on Friday when we were in Los Angeles at the Rookie Face-Off. You can find that convo on our YouTube page. He and head coach Andre Torini spoke today, along with a number of players. Lots of talk about the roster, growing the young guys, leadership, etc., X's and O's stuff. But here's Sean Dursey when asked about how things are going after the transition from Arizona to Utah. Oh, and he recently signed a 4-year contract with the team, so get to know the name.
I was pretty thrilled with how everything went when we came down, the warm welcome we received. It's a different situation because you're moving to a new city. You can't ask really anybody who's played here before what's it like. We were lucky enough to meet a few of the Jazz players when we came down, had some dinner with them, got to ask them a few questions, and I mean it was easy. Just like I said, what the city brings, what the ownership group brings, what everybody who's coming along, it's all a player could ask for, and I'm really happy with the extension. This summer, looking at the situation, looking at who's taking over, management, all that stuff, it was, second to none that I've seen. It's been as much as I could have asked for as a player. Like you said, they put up a facility for one season for us, and it's world-class, state-of-the-art in 5 months. If that doesn't scream commitment and all in and, everything that they want us to succeed, I don't know what does. So it's special. Like you said, it really screams that they care for us, they want us to do well, and they're willing to push as much as they can forward to give us the best opportunity to do so.
Well, we want to hear what you think about all of this. Scan the QR code on your screen to view and to take part in this poll question. How many Utah Hockey Club games do you plan on attending? That would be in person, as I expected. 17% say more than a dozen. Perhaps you got the bundle there, the half-season package or the full-season package. 32%. I'm going to go to a few games. Most of you either don't plan to watch any games combined with I'll watch on TV or online. So it's a good variety here, but stay with 2 News as we continue to count down to the inaugural season of the Utah Hockey Club. That's our live counter there. 20 days and change. Head to KUTV.com to see past reports on the team and the interviews with players and coaches. A lot to unpack there. Still ahead on the program tonight, rats are the talk of the town in New York City. How officials there are working to combat rodents. I think Sean Kelly joins me on the other side. We'll be right back. Just in time to talk about rats. Here he
That's
is.
right. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, you really teased up this story here. Well, New York City has gathered experts from all over the United States and Canada for the first ever Rat Summit.
The group is brainstorming ideas for patrolling rat populations in urban areas, including parks, sewers, and public housing. New York has already attacked the problem with a program to put garbage in sealed containers instead of plastic bags. I'll tell you this, I had to pluck a mouse out of my new house today.
No,
Not
really?
cool. Yeah, not cool. Good night.